Made a great move joining In the Trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics in our phenomenal studios as always, because we catch up with a great talent, none other than the legendary Phil Simms. From a player standpoint, Hall of Famer, broadcast talent, Phil does it all. He talks about the Bengals. He talks about the quarterback play, Joe Burrow, how he is one of the top quarterbacks in the National Football League. No surprise to anybody with respect to that. And quarterback talent in general around the National Football League. We even get into a little bit about the draft, free agency and the upcoming draft. And there's a lot to talk about with Phil Simms. So he's the man, and we appreciate him joining us whenever he can. Well, and it's interesting. I mean, this is the time of year. No team stays the same.
Right.
Everybody has changes in the personnel. And now yesterday at 4:00, free agency, started. And now there's a lot of guys out there. Who's going to get franchised? Who's going to get transitioned if they do? And the movement there. And then, okay, based on that, what you did, here comes the draft. So it's definitely a 24/7, 365. They've made the NFL a must-see, must-watch, must-hear, must-everything.
Yeah, hey, I was trying to get the Senior Bowl up yesterday to watch it, just to judge a little there, and then of course I watched the damn combine. I'm not going to say I watch it from start to finish every time, but there's a lot of things I want to see, and everybody goes all the underwear Olympics, and they do too. No, I don't know how you feel, Dave, but I think the combine you need it, and these private workouts when you go there and all that. I think that's real too. You need to see it. And, put it in its right perspective, but you want to see these guys in person, and you want to have something to judge them on. How this guy caught 73 passes this past year, 100 passes in college. Yeah, he run a 5.2. Okay, it's over. We're not looking at you.
Right.
There are some parameters to it that you want to see. And so I'm in on all of it. I don't want to see it changed either.
Yeah. And I think too, when you are able to spend time on them, the interview process and watching guys and how they interact with other people and all that. I mean, it's not just the video of the game and watching the guy play, but how does he handle, what type of person is he? Is he a leader? Is he a follower? You can start to determine some of that stuff a little bit. And I think all that is important. I know they're putting their best foot forward. If not, they're the dumbest people alive. I mean, it's the biggest audition job interview you're going to ever have in your life. But still, people at some point in time, people become who they are when they're around others for a period of time. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I hear it every year at the combine. Yeah, we had him in. We were really excited about him, but then we couldn't wait to get him out of the room. And I just go, oh my God, really? I hear that they go, yeah, he's awful. We wouldn't draft him if he was in the 7th round now. And, but on TV a lot. I watch a lot of TV, but I'm not even ashamed to say it. And, all the talk, and it's always about the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, sure.
Their culture. But, it is true. It is a real thing. And, Bill Parcells said this to me once, and I want everybody to take it the right way. Every ship needs a few rats. And you need those guys. You need a guy that holds a standard that you're worried about what he thinks about you on the team. Right. You need a group of those guys. And I think it's true and real. In Dallas, they keep the culture. Well, they got to have a group of players that just won't put up with it and band together and lead the team. And I know they got some leaders in Dak, but every once in a while, somebody's got to call the players out. And it's, hey, look, we had those guys. Oh my gosh. We had offensive linemen, but we had Carl Banks, Lawrence Taylor. Well, Lawrence wasn't a talker. He was a doer. Right. But we had guys that were, I worried about what they thought of me. So, so it's a big deal. And you said it right. You can get this in interviews, just watching their body language. There's lots of ways that we see it. And I think that's real too. So
with Bill Belichick now, not maybe a part of the National Football League from a head coaching standpoint at this juncture. I was reflecting back on his magnificent run, and I'm like, all right, he coached the GOAT of offense, Brady, the GOAT of defense, LT, when he was with the Giants, and the GOAT of special teams in Slater. I mean, he had three of the most dominant players in all three phases of football that any head coach can claim. I mean, it's like, man, what a run that guy had. Jeez.
Great run. Listen, what did him in? And you know what? As Red Shandies said, the St. Louis Cardinals baseball coach, talking about his team, and it wasn't doing this and this. He goes, listen, I have a mule out there in Missouri. I can run that some bitch every day. He's still not going to win the Kentucky Derby. So I don't care how smart you are and how hard you coach. If you don't have some talent, it's not going to work. And that's the biggest thing. Yep. When I watch New England, and I watch them every week, and I'd go, a lot of great thoughts on both sides of the ball. I go, wow. But they couldn't, but they didn't have speed, and they couldn't back up what the thought process was. And that's where drafting and everything you want to say comes in. But as far as X's and O's go, I think Bill Belichick is still at the top of his game, and I saw it many, many ways, even with New England, as bad as they were this past year.
I agree. That guy is he is a savant.
Oh, my gosh. Dave, listen, I interviewed him 100 times for real. And if I said, hey, Bill, what about the wing tee? And he go, oh, the wing tee, I love it because this and this. And he go, oh, my. You couldn't fool him on anything. And where did the triple option start? What year? Who was the first carry? Bill would know it. And he would go in these long thought processes about it. And, I loved it. I mean, he could write a book about anything in football.
No doubt.
And he didn't miss anything. We'd be warming up at Giant Stadium, cold, windy day. As I'd walk off of warm-ups, he'd come over. So what do you think about the guy on the other side? I said, oh, come on. He's going to choke it to death. He's whatever. This wind's going to kill him. And he goes, yes, I agree. We got him. And our conversations were priceless because, I just tell the truth. I go, oh, come on. This guy's scared to throw it 3 yards today because of the wind. And he goes, yeah, just
when you
I didn't do it out of meanness. I did it because I really believed it. I'd tell him, hey, there's no way. So
I think that's why you're the football savant you are. I mean, you're around Parcells, you're around Belichick.
Oh,
Giants. I mean, that's unbelievable, man. It really is. I mean, what a trio right there. I mean, my goodness.
Dave, it was unbelievable. Look, I mean, I even knew it when I was playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As hard as it was, and it was let's be honest, it was brutal.
I bet.
Every day was the end of the world. We better practice well today. Come here, Sims. What the hell was that yesterday? I couldn't sleep. You played zero. Practice so bad. Oh, my God. It just, man. I mean, I would be in my nerves. This is the truth. I would be more nervous in practice than I would be in games by far.
Yeah. Wow.
Because, man, Bill thought it was the end. Like, if we didn't practice great, he would find ways to, the next day would be brutal. Hell, we just scrimmaged this. It was incredible. But I think all my teammates, we all now, especially, we knew it when we were playing, but we really knew it was over. Like, wow, thank God we had him. Bill was truly the most important player on our team without a doubt. How he handled people, what he did to motivate you, to keep you on edge, whatever you want to say. It was tough, but that's why we won too.
Real quick about Shanahan, and I don't know why this one hit me, but
sure.
I mean, you have to feel badly for a guy. He's got 3 double-digit leads at the half between his coaching experiences as a coordinator with Atlanta and 2 in San Francisco,
right,
and goes 0-3. Whew, that's got to be tough. I mean, that really has to weigh on you, doesn't it?
Sure. I mean, it's like being the quarterback, and maybe this is not a great analogy, but turning it over that cost you the game or something in the Super Bowl. You got to live with it.
Yeah.
And one thing I'll say, 28-3 in Houston against the New England Patriots. He's not the head coach. Right. Okay. Dan Quinn should manage the game. And, I always hear it. and I'm a little sensitive to it because I know him and I know the family, did many games in Denver over the years. But to blame him, all you got to do as a head coach, hey, let's work the clock, Kyle. End of discussion. It takes that line. So otherwise, he's just calling plays, and it's was it his job to manage the game too? Maybe
Right.
to a degree we think about it,
Right.
but I never hear. It's always Kyle. I never hear it about Dan Quinn.
That's a good. That's a good
Okay,
point.
and I sat in the stands that day, and my young son Matt was on the practice squad in Atlanta, and I'll never forget when Julio Jones caught that sideline pass. I turned to my wife. I go, "Oh my God, they won the Super Bowl. It's over." And then as we found out, the play calling, the lack of execution, whatever, beat them and they lost. So, man, how long would that stay with you, Dave,
Oh,
to lose that game?
and every time I close my eyes at night, that's all. The film
Oh,
would start playing again, man. It's
yeah.
brutal,
I
brutal.
mean, how about you? I mean, you lived through all these games, and I find it interesting. At least I think this way, and I know a lot of my teammates do. Hell, we're mad we didn't win more than two.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
we don't even talk about the wins. We just talk about how we screwed up a couple years where hell we were Super Bowl caliber and
Yeah.
we blew it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are it's
But
as
that's
they would say, as Beasley Reese said to us once, football is about creating memories. Yeah, it is. But damn, a lot of those memories are bad.
no
So
question. And you know what though? In my mind, that's what makes the great players the greatest. It's like their expectations are perfection, man. It's like, I won two, but shoot, I could have won five, and I mean, that's like, that's not the way the normal person thinks. It's like guys like yourself playing at the level that you guys play at and Hall of Fame level players. It's like, man, they are so not only so talented, but so competitive and such drive. I mean, it's incredible. It really is, man.
yeah,
You guys,
the
you guys
game is unbelievable. It
make
really
it
yeah,
is.
hey, I ask you. So when you win a game, when you were playing, you come in the locker room, you sit down, you just go, "Oh my God, we won a game." You don't. It's so hard to win, right? I
Yeah,
mean, to be
yeah,
part of a winning team,
yep, it
it's
is.
just amazing. And we'd be on a plane coming home from road trips. We'd win, and Mark Bavaro would come up to me. The plane's kind of got some energy, and it's doing things we probably shouldn't have done or whatever. And
Right.
Mark Bavaro goes, he'd always look at me and go, "Can you imagine if we lost?" And I go, "Mark, I'm not even thinking that way. Don't what are we doing? No, I'm not thinking that way."
Oh man.
Oh, but the plane rides, man, that was back when it was a different world. All I
Yep.
can say is they were yeah, I wish I could have filmed some of them. They were hilarious. Our plane really, we went, it was out of control.
A great show. That'd be a great show, man.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
you know, come on,
Oh
you
yeah.
didn't
Oh,
get on those planes and
no
man,
doubt.
when
No
you
doubt.
win, you just go, it's unbelievable. It
Yeah.
really is. The whole thing, just winning a game, that as Parcells would say, that's why it's so great, the game of football, because it's so damn hard.
It is. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's a euphoric thing, man. It's euphoria when you get it done, It really is.
Let me ask you again, how about the Bengals? I gotta get some Bengal info here. Just Tee Higgins, Tyler Boyd, just the free agents and all
Yeah,
that.
it is. I mean, T. Higgins obviously in everybody's list of free agents, he's in the top five. It's just a
Oh,
matter of where in that top five. I mean, he is
oh,
he's a genetic freak with that catch radius and how he can run routes and I mean everything about him. I would think the Bengals are going to find a way to keep him for run it back for another year. Have Chase and Higgins and that's why I'm thinking, man, if somehow the Bengals could get Bowers at tight end, what a trio that would be.
ooh wee.
I'm not sure
I don't know if
that's
he's
real.
gonna fall that far, but man,
Right,
you talk about
right.
a natural, that's
Oof.
Bowers.
Yeah,
Just a
he is.
natural.
He
He's a
is. He is.
he's a player.
But
It's
like you
Travis Kelsey, but on steroids.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, he could honestly, he's the type of tight end. He could play the slot like Tyler Boyd played the slot and play the tight end position. He could fill multiple roles for you. I mean,
yeah,
he's fast enough to be able to be a good slot receiver and a route runner and everything. And he's you know not a dominant blocker at the end of the line of scrimmage, but he's more than willing.
yeah.
And he'll get it done. He's going to do that for you. I mean, that would be unbelievable. But Yeah, your comment earlier about the quarterback position, in particular with Joe Burrow, the 2 years that Joe stayed healthy, they gone to the Super Bowl and lost in the AFC Championship.
Right.
2 years that he wasn't, they haven't. So, but they've,
Well, I'll say this to you. You make great points. Tee Higgins, so many teams truly, for Joe Burrow and the offense and for the way the team is built, whatever, we need 2 number ones, and that's what they got. And you got to keep them. I mean, I don't know how they do it. I haven't looked at the salary cap and all that, what they got going on. You just got to find a way. And because, man, I don't want to. It's strange. I hate to see some of these players change. I just can't imagine Tee Higgins in another uniform.
I know.
My mind's already this way.
I know.
So, and for the team too, it's
Yep.
they lose him. It'll be interesting. I think it changes their football team dramatically.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, tag, people are talking tag and trade, tag, tag and run it back. Let's please go there. And I do know that Joe Burrow feels like, I mean, he signed a massive contract for sure,
Right.
but he structured it whereby, there was some salary cap relief and freedom the way it was structured for this very reason. So I think he's hoping that with that structure of his deal, that they will be able to somehow, if they can't work out a long-term deal with T, be able to tag him and keep him for, run it back again kind of thing. We'll see.
Well, what's interesting, see how that nowadays, these quarterbacks, I mean, I can't imagine, but they have power.
Yep.
I mean, if Joe Burrow goes in and says something, they're going to listen to him. And of course, the public's going to be on his side and everything. I just think these guys can influence now like never before. We see it with more and more quarterbacks. I mean, you talk about seeing it big time. How about up here in New York with Aaron Rodgers?
Oh.
And, what Aaron wants, Aaron gets. But with Joe Burrow, the offense just propels the whole team, of course,
right?
And just who they are. And we're talking about, I think, as we talked about, 3 guys that are leaders of a team that can influence the coaches and the defense, everything.
Right.
So a lot of young players on defense for the Bengals, and this will be a big year. Big Lou, he's got a lot of work. When you get young players, I can't imagine, because all the adjustments they make now on defense, I can't even imagine what it's like to teach. These kids must come in, if you're a safety, whatever, and you just go, you want us to do what?
I know. You talk about oddballs like hard-boiled eggs.
Oh, my God.
Really?
If this guy goes in motion now, you got to pass it off and do it. And I just can't imagine. Oh, my God.
Right. But if they do that, you got to do this. But if this happens, oh, man, it's like.
Yeah.
Yes,
Whoever thinks it's not a thinking man's game, let me tell you what, they're wrong, because it is a thinking man's game for sure.
It is that.
But it's all great.
And Phil, I want to, you mentioned how players and coaches have influenced the game of football. Your level of play and your level of ability to broadcast has influenced the game of football for a lot of years, my man. And can't thank you enough for carving all this time. I know I've probably been selfish. Man, I probably took your whole afternoon, Phil Simms, but you're such a good guy.
Oh, no. Look, I still got a nap in me. And, my favorite is they make fun of me all the time in my house, my kids, my wife. I do like eating. I mean, I eat. Yeah. I mean, I'm good for at least 3 square meals a day, easy. And I don't know what it is.
I love
At this age, I lose weight like that. So I guess that's a good thing. But when I get off here, it's lunchtime. I'm going to tear it up.
I love it. What are you thinking? You got anything in mind or what?
Oh, shoot. Usually at lunch, I have like a bowl of chicken noodle soup or something like that we get, which I love. And then I'll probably have some type of sandwich. I put, I'm in this guy now, Dave. I eat avocados every day. I eat, I'm a pretty healthy eater most of the time. When I break down, I really break down. But yeah, it's just, really, I really mean this. And I know, the grind of the NFL season. Just I'm resting up. I'm enjoying a little free time, and of course, enjoying what I'm doing, talking to you, and starting to watch all these college football players. I mean, gosh, the damn draft is what? It's coming fast.
Yeah.
Amazing. But it's all good. I enjoy talking football with you anytime you need me, and there's never a time limit, as you can tell. I like to talk. So
You are the best.
All right, bud.
Appreciate your time.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Enjoy lunch and have a great day.
Yeah, I will. Okay.
You're the man.
All right, bud. Thank you.
Dave Lapham here, and every day I am grateful for my experience to have played professional football. As a player, I realize self-motivation, leadership, and appreciating your teammates are key. At First Star Logistics, you can use those same attributes to create the life you want for you and your family. Build your future by working hard like I did. You'll see results both on and off the field. Call First Star Logistics today and be part of our winning team.
Opportunity knocking.